as we want. Then we can talk to our MTN Momo representative. This first outfit was done by Songi all the way from
NRG Radio, MTN, and MTN Momo. Definitely the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife, and Antiquities, the Busoga Kingdom, the Jinja City Council, Nyege Tapes, and NBS. You guys have been with us a long time. We've been with all these partners for multiple years. I just want to give a word of thanks to them for continuing to support Nyege and Talent Africa. Thank you very much.
We thank you so much. Uganda is a place. So again, we are very happy to have you here. How does Jinja City view the whole Nyege Festival in aligning to the whole cultural essence of the whole district? I don't know if you just call it the whole district or the whole region. How do they align together with what Nyege stands for?
Yes, first of all, Nyege as a festival, it really aligns with the vision of Jinja City. Because the Jinja City vision is, it enhances tourism. Tourism as the major mission for Jinja City. So it enhances tourism promotion. You find that Nyege as an event, a festival, an annual event, now we are terming it as annual. It really enhances, it goes with the vision of Jinja City to enhance tourism promotion and the local economic development within the area.
Nice. How is Jinja City or the council, the leaders of Jinja, how are they helping Nyege to make it easier for the festival and for the people?
By the way, Jinja City political leadership is so positive about this event because it has so much impact, positive impact with the community within Jinja. There are so many activities which take place in Jinja, which benefits political leadership and the technical side, plus the community as whole. One, because when it comes to political leadership, if Nyege Ali does not have the support of political leadership, it's bound to fail. You have to enhance and bring together the stakeholders within the city. So you find that it has, because this political leadership, it has a diversity of cultural diversity. We have a cultural diversity. There are so many cultures within Jinja City.
Even our Mazungu people love to stay in Jinja so much.
It's across Mazungu, Indians, Chinese, all, and the culture, the traditional cultural tribes within Uganda. They are within the city.
Madam Sarah, is Jinja City ready for Nyege?
True, it's very ready for Nyege.
I like that your answer was coming in before the question.
It's very ready for Nyege event. And all the hotels and lodges, guest houses are ready for Nyege. Because it accrues to the revenue of the city. When it comes to local hotel tax, it's being collected and it's realized during that time. Because every hotel, every breakfast and the bed, houses, they all work during that time. It's not that it's a one event and it is specifically to one individual. It cuts across.
Thank you so much. Yes. We cannot wait to come to Nyege. Will you be attending Nyege?
Why not?
I thank you. Thank you so much. Please clap for Madam Sarah.
I'm really excited. I'm happy. You know, we took a bit of time to announce all the fine details of this year's edition, but now we're locked in, so ready to go.
Nice. You guys have been doing Nyege activation parties, getting people geared up for Nyege. How has that been for you, and what are some of the places that you feel like, yeah, Nyege 2024 is alive?
Yeah, I mean, last Saturday we were in Gulu at the D Plus Lounge, collaborating with a local festival there called Waragi Festival. And we've been collaborating with different festivals across the country, and that was a great lounge. We heard some Dingy Dingy, some Raka Raka, we had some Afro House, some artists from Kampala also joining in, and just getting people up north geared up to the festival. the weekend before we were.
Answer on the tickets, but before I do that, I just want to give a big round of thanks to our sponsors who make Nyege possible. Uganda Waragi, thank you for being.
Dwarf every previous edition. You know, this is like a whale landing on the beach.
All right, so the price, the ticket prices.
So the price right now, it's only 200,000 shillings, taxes included. Big up to the URA. So you know, we make sure something is going back to the community there, and it's 200,000 for 4 days. Even if you're just going to come to 2 days to the festival, it's still better to buy the early bird ticket right now. So that's very important. So you make sure that you got that that little kitty ready for that. And after that, we're gonna have weekend tickets and daytime tickets at the gate. So it's really best to get an early bird up to the end of the week. And I can say that you should really get that ticket, because without the tickets, without people buying tickets, we can't do this. So we would just be down to basically remaining stoic, and not be able to move if it wasn't for people actually supporting. So we really want people to see that more than attending an event, they're supporting a movement. And that movement is Nyege, and it can't exist with 300 artists, with all the decoration, with all the events. It doesn't work without people contributing a ticket. So we know it's still expensive, but at the same time, when you look at other events in Kampala right now, I feel like 4 days, the kind of entertainment that people are getting day and night, it's a gift. So go for it.
Definitely worth it. The 31st of November will be the deadline for the early bird ticket. Yes? October. Oh.
The time is up.
God.
We're dropping time. Then we're going to be in Mbale, making sure everybody's locked in.
Wow. This is a little unscripted, but there are people who are calling me about it. They have like a transportation from Barara. There are people who are trying to come together. Have you heard about such people?
Yeah. There's party buses. And,
party buses, yes.
Of course, we don't. The festival can't cater and organize every single thing. So there's a lot of entrepreneurs coming together, locking in a hotel in Jinja, getting their friends together, organizing these little warm-up parties, bringing 1 bus, 2 bus, 3 buses, and just making sure that the whole country is represented.
Nice. So people are putting themselves together to plan on how to come. I like that. Why are we calling this the Afro-Galactic Carnival? It is really powerful as well when I say it. Why do we have Afro-Galactic Carnival, and what does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those themes where everybody sort of owns it in their own way. For me, it's a combination of the past and the future. It's a combination of space and the cosmic element, the planets. Like, we're gearing up for, going as far as we can. But also, it's African in essence, and this year, we're really putting an emphasis on culture. Not only food, but also crafts, storytelling, history, philosophy, beliefs. There's a lot of people that have different sort of upbringings in the country, and that's what makes Nyege very rich. And recently I saw in the papers, on the basis of the census, that some tribes are even disappearing. Yeah. Some languages are disappearing. And this is why we thought, we need to look into the future, but we also need to look into the past and the present and see how these things combine. And Carnival, because it's going to be a crazy, crazy carnival. Everybody's going to bring their crazy ideas about what they feel is the future, what is like their sort of alien self, just encourage people to make up their own evaluation of the theme.
Yeah, I like the word carnival because of how the outfits are going to look like. If the girls choose to dress up for the carnival, we're definitely going to have a good time. As somebody who has been with Nyege from before it was born, tell us a little bit about the journey and how it's transcended to 2024 from the very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Nyege started in Bunga around 2014, and in a very Pan-African neighborhood, I can say. And it started from hip-hop, dancehall, MC culture, ciphers, And basically people, especially artists, that were looking for different sounds, and they weren't really getting exposed in the clubs at the time, on the TVs, on the radios. So they found in our parties a sort of way to express themselves. And that's how things got started. A lot of women getting, to get into DJing for the first time, conscious hip hop, MCs, getting the microphone when they weren't really getting it in other places. And also figuring out like hybrid sounds, how to combine traditional with electronic. And also, Kampala attracts people from all over the country and from all over the world and all over Africa. And I think Nyege in our parties at the time really encompassed that. You found the Ethiopians, the Congolese, but you also found the Acholi DJ, and you found the Kadodi DJ, and you found just a mix of people that felt like they needed space. And Nyege has always been about creating space for everyone and making sure that everybody feels free and good and represented, and that it also creates opportunity across the board.
What new activities there at Nyege that for people who have been to Nyege, they feel like, oh man, am I going to do this thing again? How has it been spiced up for people to feel like, you know what, this is another one I cannot miss?
This is a 1 hour long question.
Okay,
we're going to have to sum it up, but this year,
yeah,
we're changing the game when it comes to festivals, and basically what is going to happen is that we found that now that we're in the city, people used to stay in their hotel too long in the daytime. And Nyege is 24/7, we have programs all the time, Akuna Kulala. So, but we found that people would come back to the sites like around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So we said, you know what, let's just shut down at 8 a.m. and we open up the entire city. And that's the big difference. So we're gonna have the 7 stages on the river, your whole like experience from 3 p.m. to 8 a.m. But now from 8 a.m. we're opening up in the city with more than 25 different stages and activities. It's gonna be
around the city.
Nuts, everywhere. And it literally goes from tuk-tuk parties, boat parties, whiskey tasting, fine dining brunches, bird watching, history tours of the city, name it, you have it. We're gonna have, cinemas opening up. We're gonna have, panels and workshops, and we're gonna have like, so basically you're gonna wake up and you're gonna have this map that tells you there's 25 different things going around in Jinja City. And we're working with people in Jinja. We've opened up, basically we had a call. We said, look, if you're doing anything in Jinja that is worth people going to, we're gonna send you people. If you're at a railway museum, we're gonna send you people. If you're doing a disco party, we're gonna send you people. If you have a great restaurant, we're gonna send you people. And that's what we're about this year. Is in the night we all gather together and we party on the Nile. But in the day, we see what is happening in Jinja City. For example, we have one event called the Sudanese Pavilion, financed by the Danish Embassy. And that's gonna highlight, there's crazy things happening in Sudan right now. 11 million people are displaced. That means we have a lot of artists. Remember, Uganda is the #1 country in the world that welcomes refugees. But when we think of refugees, we think of just like people moving with their families, this and that. But there's also artists, intellectuals. So we're going to give space to these people to bring their food, their crafts, their music, this and that. So we're really going to make sure that in the daytime there's so many things to do and really rethink what's a festival. A festival is about getting together, learning new things, making new friends, and expanding your minds onto what's possible. And that's what this year is going to be about.
Wow, you got me right there.
You're
Even as the host of the festival,
you
you got me right there, man. You did explain everything. Lastly, from my list of questions, how do you put together, how did you rate the whole Nyege experience in terms of the talent? Because I've met so many DJs at Nyege, and the next year I'm seeing they are performing in Berlin. I'm like, bruh, how did they do this? I've seen even Ugandan artists, for example, even Joshua Baraka, before he blew up, Malcolm was saying this the other day, people experienced him at Nyege before he blew. So tell me, how do you put together the list? How do you say we finalize on the list? And I know it's been too much work for you and the team at Talent Africa, cancelling and adding and doing all that. So what is the criteria, let's say for an artist or for anyone who's wondering, how do they do this?
first of all, there's an open door policy. If you have new music, if you're upcoming, wherever you are, you can always send us music, and we're always open, we're always going to listen. Then it's really about keeping an ear on the ground, making sure, let me say for traditional music, all year long, we travel the country, we see who's doing what are the acts that we want to bring. Then we work with different collectives. Let me say, Buddha Stage, Expressions, Bantu Vibes. All of these are young collectives that are, there's We Are One, Soul Tribe. There's all these different collectives that are constantly bringing out new artists. So we check on them, we ask them. Then we also ask our sponsors, they're all about the party. They have their ear on the ground. We ask, what do you guys think? Who should we bring? Who should be the headliners? And we ask the public, people that come every year to the festival, who do you want to see? So we really try and source as much information from everyone, and then we try and add also an extra spice. Like for example, this year we have this band coming from Japan, the legendary band from Japan. We have this 75-year-old lady from France. She plays this instrument from the medieval times. She's gonna be there. We've got the world champion of whistling from Sudan. He's coming.
There's a world champion of whistling?
There is. And if you're gonna hear, your heart is going to cry. Bro, like the program, it's magic. We just try and see and also make sure we give opportunities to artists that people don't really know. And that's always a challenge, I have to say. Ugandans, sometimes they just want to know what they know. But now, Nyege is about what you don't know, and we want you to get excited. It's not about, Elijah, or Joshua, or, Cindy, or this one, or that one is going to be there. Okay, there's those you know, but we want people to get excited about those they don't know. Because, like you said, 2022, Joshua Baraka is picking at the Bantu Vibe stage. Nobody knows who he is. 2 years later, he's one of our biggest stars. That's what Nyege is about. Nyege is about putting you up there when nobody cares about you. And because in the future, you're going to be big. And whoever you're going to see this year at Nyege, trust, we've got some stars in the making.
Wow. Make some noise for the champion.
Sport, but people need to appreciate it in a different sense. That one, there is diversity, and diversity in this sense, we're looking at the different cultures, different perspectives that come along with the festival. And then we have to appreciate that the author of life is a designer in this, and the uniqueness that comes with the author of life is when we see someone with a different style, someone with a different way. Where we come from, you see that when young kids see a foreign national, they'll say Muzungu, or some will run away. But the more they interface, the more we interact with the society, we appreciate that there's a uniqueness. That is the beauty of the creator. So people need to appreciate that this is not just about what they think. When they narrow their thinking, then they forget that the creator is behind everything.
So having said that, would you say, because I've had some religious leaders make comments about Nyege, and it is not the first time, they have always made comments about Nyege. As somebody who is from Jinja, you've heard about Nyege before, and you're inclined in God and religion. Would you explain to me if or if not it is against God's will to attend or not to attend Nyege?
It's about how people view it, in a sense of what is morally upright. But that is a question that we can debate in different ways. I think the biggest challenge is much about the language, because the language of Nyege is something that the local person is not understanding. So my word to Ali is, how do we package the messages for the people to understand, to connect with the language itself? Because when you keep it just in English, then a person from, let's say, Uganda will not understand, apart from just saying Nyege. So I think we need to be able to connect the language that people can understand what values are we're talking about. Rico was talking about very beautiful values in terms of the diversity, the culture, how it complements the life about people. So unless you're saying life is away from the reality, then it's different.
Nice, thank you so much. If you read in between his lines, you'll find your answer.
Thank you.
And it is definitely a pleasure. Have you attended Nyege Uganda yourself?
No, I'm excited. Sometime I'll try it out.
We're between the 14th and 17th. Please, you're welcome. Let's have a great time. As somebody who hosts Nyege Uganda every year for the last, I think,